But specifically, my testimony starts in a hospital room at the University of Florida, where I was born. And it starts with my parents. You see, my parents, they weren't huge in their faith at the time. Like, I wouldn't look at my dad and say, oh my gosh, that's a man of God at that time. I wouldn't look at my mom and say, look at how she is leading. Because to be honest, they were at a time where they were trying to save their marriage. They were at a time where their faith wasn't very high at that point. But what was the first miracle in my life was in that hospital room. My parents got down on their knees and they went to the Lord. And instead of just saying thank you for this child, they dedicated my life back to Jesus, just like Hannah did in 1 Samuel. Yeah. And I don't want to say that to say, oh my gosh, look at this guy. Look at him. His life has already been written out for him. His life has already been dedicated to the Lord. Because at the end of the day, that doesn't mean I'm perfect. Right? Like, I still messed up. I still fell. But it would be when I moved here in the 7th grade in middle school. And for those of you who have been through middle school, you know how the conversations, they start to change in the lunchroom. And specifically, they started to change in a very evil and lustful way. And I got exposed to something I shouldn't have been exposed to. I started going to the websites. I started looking at things I wasn't supposed to be looking at. I would find myself in a cage, bonded by my sin for the next 3 years, trying to escape and not understanding how I can get out, trying to find freedom when I was entrapped by what the world would call as freedom, what the world labels as free, what the world labels as fun, what the world labels as enjoyable. And maybe you yourself do it the same way too, right? Looking for all the women, looking for all the girls, or the guys. But at the end of the day, it's evil. Because you don't know what freedom actually is until you try and escape. And I found myself walking into a service at Coast Life Youth from an invite from a friend. And that's where I found my freedom. But how did I find it? I had to surrender. I went to the Lord. I got on my knees. I went to the altar. I came to the Lord in humility and surrendered my life back to Jesus. And He freed me from my bondage. So I just want to tell you, I want to encourage you. Like, if you look at my story, you're not alone. Someone who was supposed to walk with the Lord his entire life was struggling with the same things you struggle with. Someone who has grown up in church his whole life, never done anything crazy, was struggling with the same things you struggled with. But not just that there is one person that everything has to bow to. That it was the depression, the anxiety, the self-doubt, the addictions, they all have to bow at His name. And freedom is just one decision away. You make one decision, you dedicate your life to Jesus, you can find true freedom. Because the world will sell you this version of freedom, and it will lead you to prison, imprisonment, and bondage, and you will be trapped inside of a cycle. But you can break the cycle with one name, with one decision. That name is Jesus Christ, and you can break the cycle by surrendering your life and laying it down and following the one person who died on the cross for our sins, but rose again the third day. The one person who defeated death. And now death, where is your sting, it is lost. Yep. And now nothing has hold over the person that surrenders their entire life to Jesus. Yep. And so I hope you might have found some encouragement. You might have found a little bit of safety in that. Maybe some affirmation like, you're not alone. Trust me. You're not alone. But with that being said, I hope the Lord continues to speak to you. Maybe you're not getting it. Maybe it's just your friends are locked in right now and you don't understand. But I believe through the words of our next speaker, of our guest speaker, the Lord will do something. Yeah. And this man is anointed. He has spoken many times. He is the Welland Park Youth Director at Coast Life Church. The one, the only Dakota Rowan. Welcome to the stage.